let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1, we're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Summer Series 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around there. Sexy Rexy, yibbita, folks, down there in 4th, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front. Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be. Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has. And it's Wilco with a nose in front as we come through to complete the lap. Sideorg, our winner from last week and championship leader, King in there as well. And don't tell me Wilco could have gone from 1st to 3rd in a matter of corners here, Bob. I reckon he's lost the lead and he could be down to 3rd by the end of the opening lap. Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Back for another night. And how fitting here that we have the cameras on this man, Sideorg, who's looking to continue his perfect season. Matty Simmons jumping in the chat just a moment ago saying that ready to see Simon get another W, to which I responded, let's not count our chickens before they come home to roost. Or whatever that means. But there we go. And Chris. Yes! Fantastic! And we've reached my goodness, we've been streaming for about 30 seconds of this session. And let me tell you that the Lewis has subscribed. So has Chris, the great Chris from Shakedown Rain of Fire, saying, here's trouble. And speaking of trouble, here comes Sexy Rexy out of the pit lane. I meant Kid Byers and Lewis. Suck my balls, honey. He's redeemed the K-Mag sound effects. It's all happening. And Lewis has subscribed, same as Chris, for 6 months. Lewis for 7, currently on a 6-month streak. And he's in his 3rd trimester. He says, oh my gosh. Where you get, what's that kids movie? Is it Shark Tale? Wheel or Wash? Where you get the wheel of a wash? Oh my gosh. That's Lewis tonight. Well, that's a throwback. As I welcome a multiple KRL champion and Pompeii tourist and Monza racer, Jason Wilkinson, to the commentary box. He's back for another night. Good evening to you. Ciao, Signor Wilco.
Ciao, ciao. Come say?
Si.
How are you? Yes. How are we all? Another night of KRL. A race going on at the moment between that Sideorg and Kick It and Rip It, and they're all sort of battling to get going. I did do a couple, or I technically did one lap in this car in the practice session about 40 minutes ago, and can tell you it is slippery. On throttle is a bit sketchy. It's got so much torque, but yeah, it is a fun car to drive. It's not going to be expecting the times last night, which was what, an 18.0 or 17.9 in the GT3s. We're probably expecting around low to mid 220, so about 2 seconds off, just because these cars are literally bricks with wheels. So yeah. Of course, Simon will go through the championship order soon, but Simon is our championship leader. He's won 3 of the 2nd place, so he's doing well. But he is not racing next week. He is off to España for the GT World Challenge. So can he end his little break with a we end the race with a win before his break. I'll try English, Trev. That might help. Rather than Italian.
That is the question. See, and you can see now that Sidorg is let's have a look here. We've got a 50-minute race, but before that we've got a 10-minute qualifying session, and the hype train. The hype train is on level 1. All aboard, and toot toot, and sub, gift, or use bits to get us to the next level. We're at 93.
Next person to put a comment in, I'm going to give you a sub. So next person to comment, if you're not subbed, I'll gift you one.
Holy mother, sweet mother of mercy. The hype train's up to 93%. Lewis has subscribed, so has Chris. And Matty Simmons has subscribed with Prime, and he's been subscribed for 7 months. So only 2 more months till our baby is born. And that, imagine that, in a, it could commentate and race at the same time.
5 or 6 years' time, they're going to be off at school getting iPads and laptops and TVs and all sorts.
Yes, we had our orientation for my daughter's
pre-race chat.
And boy almighty, when I googled the prices of some of those Apple MacBook Pros, I had to pick myself up off the floor. But you boys are the best in the business, and that is coming from the best in the business, Matt Simmons. And Simon wouldn't have heard me say that as what is happening out there, Wilco? They're just playing follow the leader at the moment, it seems. What times can we expect here, please?
Low to mid 2-minute 20s, but maybe Uncle Matt Simmons will have to use his Nissan money and give her a nice Nissan MacBook Pro or something, Trev, just to help out.
That's all right. We're happy to. We're happy if we all sort of pass the hat around and get on the hype. 27 seconds on the hype train, please.
All right, I'm just gifting some random.
There we go.
Who's going to be the lucky winner here?
Who's going to be the lucky winner? We'll wait and see. Jason Wilkinson has his button ready on the dial, his finger on the button, whatever the hell else I'm trying to say. You got 6 seconds, Wilco. I'd get in there and get amongst it. Oh, yes!
There we go.
Has gifted a sub to Sinister Trash. And
what a name.
And Crago and Auschwitz. Wow, that's we saw a massive incident there last night, of course, with Clocaine, but
oh my God.
Wow, what
that
on
was
earth?
Death.
That was death warmed up if ever I've seen it. He just completely T-boned him. I won't go with that joke I was thinking about, but that is very very unfortunate.
Yeah, Auschwitz just had a massive tank slapper going up at Craig because they're so close together. The field, which is a bit weird. That's the longest track we go to on this game at the moment. They're all within a sector. There's a couple of guys starting to spread out, but that's what happens when you're sitting right behind someone. You're going to get involved in the lap. There's still some time left on the clock, 4 minutes. You should be able to get another lap or 2 here.
Well, you can see there that 1 second on the clock for the hype train. Just the buzzer beater doing very nicely. Matty Simmons says that's not how you start a quality lap. And Rain of Fire saying that was Craigie, ouch, yeah. And that T-bone was very, very well done indeed. Nigerian Prince, there was nothing medium. There was nothing medium about that one.
What's that steak thing? It's like, blue, medium, rare, da da da. And it's like well done. And it's like congratulations. You've just torched it. There's probably an extra version of just. No, I won't finish the German joke there, but
yeah, one goes up the chimney, one goes down. Difference between Santa and no, but there we go. So Norm coming around to finish the lap. Anyway, I'm laughing again. And Rakana has joined us all the way from Holland, where apparently beer is cheap in the land of the Netherlands. And Norm comes across the line.
Max Verstappen's win races for fun, isn't it?
He certainly is. Congratulations,
you
Max.
You get a beer. Everybody gets a beer.
Even Helmut Marko gets a beer. And there we have it. 2 minutes 19. 2 minutes 19.995 for Gavea, the German rifle, firing all sorts of shots early. Jono Stan in second, and Bees Whisker there between him and Norm. Oh, HC Lewis.
Louis. Get in there.
Gets in there, Lewis. And HC Lewis, you'll be proud, we know it. He goes to the top of the order. Gavea now has to answer back. And Chuck Norris says, what's the difference between Santa and Tiger Woods? Santa stopped at 3 ho-ho-hos. Thank you for that, Chuck Norris, who's taking a bit of a backseat tonight, the great man. He's in a moderator sort of capacity on the chat. So jump into the chat if you want to talk to the great man tonight. 2 minutes in qualifying. Lewis is cooking at the moment. Jason Wilkinson here as we've got a yellow flag for something which has now gone green. Less than 2 minutes in this session. And these bricks with wheels are very quick, especially in the hands of this man.
Yeah, well, Lewis's cooking is something we haven't heard since towards the end of 2021, and I can tell you, Trev, it's one of the best things it's the worst thing I do here. I don't even know what I'm saying, Trev.
What is happening with Sidorg? Because this man,
where is he?
This man he is yet to set a time, and he'll be wanting to get a move on here, let me tell you, because did Simon invalidate his lap? The great man, Matthew Simmons, just asking the question.
Yeah, he invalidated his first lap. Because I'm in the role of a safety car tonight, I can't be on the commentary cam, so I can't. Like, you can do it, Trev. You can hit drive and you're able to see his lap time ticking over. You're not going to have a green or red yet because his lap time isn't actually valid yet, but you should be able to see what he does when he crosses the line. So Norm will be the first car. I think probably all these cars in this last sector now are going to be getting another lap, and all these cars entering the last sector now will be on their final lap. So Norm goes up to P4. Simon just says, hello, have 8/10 on everyone.
Oh, yes!
I'm going to go.
Wow, what a lap, a 2:18.950. And he has gone to the top of the timing sheets, my goodness. He's got about 9/10, nearly a second on everybody. I think that might do very nicely, Wilco.
Yeah, it's not too bad, isn't it? It's yeah, that's pre-2021 Lewis sort of pole laps there.
Wow.
But yeah, not bad.
And the hype train has
Jimbo
just...
is the first car to finish. Here we go. So where is he? Where is Jimbo? P18, across the line, goes up to P15, and you got the 666 next, Exorcist.
Let's have a look at what he's
Saint
doing.
Sim, so Exorcist is P22, Saint Sim is P18. So here they go across the line. Exorcist jumps up, Saint Sim jumped up to P16. Next is Osh Wizard, he is in P14. So he's well out of position at the moment.
And a lot of people there just asking whether Wilco is drunk. And who reckons he is?
Just,
we just can't speak English tonight, can we?
Massive day at work. We've got a warehouse sale. If you want to come say hi to me, Lorraine Lee down at 27 Cornang Road in Scoresby. We've got a warehouse sale from 10 till 2 tomorrow and Saturday. Look at me giving work a plug. What fucking... Where's my
what would Alan Shep be thinking?
Where's my commission?
Alan Shep would be turning in his grave. But he's not dead. He's down there.
He's not dead.
He's down there.
He's immortal, so he might as well be.
He's very much alive. Hey, Wilco. Hey,
Dask.
Nibbles. Oh, here we go. Enough about...
No.
Where is Dask?
All right. He just went in the pits. So he's starting last. Norm and Simon, first cars across the line.
And Norm.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. Here comes Norm. Naughty Norman Price. Through the bus stop he comes, down to whatever gear he's in. Right, left, out of the final chicane, onto the start-finish straight. Can he find 1.5 seconds? He just needs to find a little bit less than that. He's inside the top three. Here comes Simon, and my goodness me, he's gone even quicker.
Yeah, well, but he actually lifted off just before the line too. I saw that, Simon, don't you worry. So, Jono and Kilroy in P11. One of the guys out of the Jason Wilkinson Driver Coach Academy, which it's turned into just a bit of driver coaching to now it's an academy. He's down into the last corner. He's, as I said, P11. Yes, nice little bit of trail braking through there. Open up that steering and crosses the line, and he goes up to P8. Lovely.
Wow. P8, you better be home, Wilco, or we're getting you a taxi, says Matty Simmons. There we go. Normal service has been resumed. And, Giono there cutting into that 1 second gap, but still, that is an impressive lap, a 2:18.745. We spoke to him last night following the GT3 race, and he was feeling very confident, wasn't he? I'll see you boys tomorrow night before I head off to Barcelona to do some driving over there. He seemed very confident last night, did Sidorg, and it was well founded there tonight. Choo-choo, get on the hype train, everybody. Chuck Norris looking for some new lease agreements, asking for a friend. I have a space here in the commentary box, but let's just say you'll need to do certain things like commentate. But great lap anyway.
Okay.
Moving
That's
right
right.
along from Lewis. We'll get back into the timing sheets, the timetables. Look at that, fastest in the first sector, fastest in the second sector, and guess what? 3 from 3, fastest in the third sector as well for a 2:18.745. And one has to think about that famous lap from Senna at Monaco back in '88. Oh, I wasn't born, Trev, yeah. And that as Danny Ricciardo. And there we have it. Great lap. Thanks, Dad, says Lewis. And
Some overcast conditions here.
Hello. And commentary cam has been redeemed from Jimbo Jones, and my goodness, I've got to let me just plug this thing in and get my shirt back on while we wait to go racing. I'll tell you what we might do. We might go to a short commercial break, and then we will be back with commentary cam and the 50-minute race right after this. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. It's KRL Round 5, Nissan GTR style. We'll be back in just a few moments. Let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1. We're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Summer Series 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around there. Sexy Rexy, yibbida, folks, down there in 4th, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front. Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be. Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has. And it's Wilco with a nose in front as we come through to complete the lap. Sidorg, our winner from last week and championship leader, King in there as well. And don't tell me Wilco could have gone from first to third in a matter of corners here, Bob. I reckon he's lost the lead, and he could be down to third by the end of the opening lap.
So don't ask for the commentary cam, is that what you're saying?
How to put everything together. We have a good car, but like I said, we just don't have so much experience yet on these new rally tires. So we're trying to work it out, but with one more shot to go, let's do our best. It's quite a bit different. It's obviously a different concept of a car, but it's a very cool car to drive. You have to work in it, and it's fun, and it's quite a challenge. And I like it. I think it suits my driving style, so it's nice. Everything was new, and in the beginning it was quite a bit. 30 seconds. Now since the second half, it's going really well. I'm starting to feel at home, and I think it's really cool. So I'm enjoying.
Let's see how it goes. Thank you.
This looks like all we got a tech snap.
20 seconds.
Whether that was caused by something that we can't see, but once we got the tech snap, it was nothing more than a passenger, and hopefully
10 seconds.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Spa, and here we are. The commentary cam has been redeemed. Matty Simmons saying that Simon is the definition of perfection, and coming from a man who wrote the book on perfection, he'd know a thing or two about that. Lewis says, so you're telling me I need to survive for 50 minutes? And wait, why are we not asking for commentary cam, Wilco? Now we see him on the commentary cam. And now this geez, I've just got to lower the lights a little bit. Let me lower the lights. That sounds good, doesn't it? There we go.
Oh, you're just making it extra saucy now, are you?
There we go. That's a bit better, but you can see the follow count there, and there we have it on your screen. 273 are aiming for the big 300 very, very shortly, but we'll leave that there so you can keep an eye on things. But we are on the formation lap, ladies and gentlemen, and set the mood, please, says Matty Simmons. And there we go, a bit of dark and mysteriousness about it. And no, seriously though,
You haven't got your random Matt, fact about him tonight. So what? Go, give me a random Matt Simmons fact, Trev. Go to your show Matt the shrine. Show him your shrine.
well, it's actually just off to the side. It's off to the side here. Follow now or forever hold your peace of chicken tenders, says Chuck Norris. But no, seriously, we need to get serious on this because we've got 18 people watching us. But the random fact.
Simon's flashing us.
Random facts about Matt Simmons. He orders an everyday, what is it?
I don't know, you're telling the
he
story.
orders a Hello Fresh box every fortnight and makes his own meals. I don't know, something like that. But anyway, that's a bit weird, isn't it? But Sidorg now with Jono right behind him. HC Lewis, Norm, and Naughty Norman Price there with Gavea right behind him. We'll go through this grid order and then we'll get underway here tonight. Nick and then Sexy Rexy, yibbida yibbida. Kilroy, Sofa King, Sideways Polka, Craigio and Auschwizard down there in 12th in their respective classes. Very cloudy today, says Chuck Norris. Is there any chance of rain here tonight, Wilco? Any chance at all?
Oh, well, there's always around a 30% rain in the KRL lobbies, and so we've probably, I'm obviously quite partial to a bit of wet weather, so I'd like, to be a bit higher, but I think we've only had we had a wet race in the Nissans at round 1, didn't we? And then we had wet practice last night, but that doesn't count. So maybe, and the Enduros have been quite dry for the Enduros. So maybe we need to sort of bump that up to maybe 40% chance of rain or something. But,
yes.
But
Yes, Matty Simmons says he's a bit worried. How does he know that he orders an every box or Hello Kitty, Hello Kitty, Hello Fresh box?
Hello Kitty. That's something you're not meant to know about.
And just showing them my favourite driving simulator here as well. And Rain of Fire just saying that there's always a 100% chance of rain in the KRL stream, of course. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But we might jump off commentary cam. That's 2,000 points and 3,000, and just wait and see what I'll do with it. But let me tell you, I'm going to jump off camera now. 3, 2, 1. And we are out, ladies and gentlemen, but we are getting ready to start this race, Wilco. 50 minutes of pure brick driving with wheels action here coming up.
Yes, it's the way we like it. Brick's going to be getting their oars out and just returning to their natural habitat. We shall see in the next 50 minutes. Now remember, the start of this race is going up to Oru, so they're all pretty clean in the practice race. Let's hope they can do it again. The Nissan Series, actually, I'm not even going to say anything about the Nissan Series, but let's just say let's keep going on with the clean-up ones.
We're almost ready to go racing here. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. We hope you are ready at home. 20-plus drivers all staring down into Turn 1 to see who's going to be able to conquer Spa tonight. Is it going to be this man? He's already got the championship lead. He's dominated. And Rain of Fire and Matty Simmons getting amongst it in the chat. Keep those comments coming in. Who do you think's going to win it tonight, ladies and gentlemen? And get your comments coming in. We're almost ready to go racing. Sidorg and Jono, HC Lewis and Norm. This battle is going to be fantastic, and not just at the front, but well and truly right the way through the field as we get underway here. Round 5. And we're ready to go as he's redeemed. That's a little bit early. Wilco's gone early with the champagne podium music. Let's just lead. There we go. Perfect timing on the sound effect there. So we are away. Round 5 of this championship for the Nissan GTR. Matt Simmons Bingaling Cup is away. And there we have it across up the top of the hill through Eau Rouge for the first time. Through Ranion and down Kemmel Straight we go. Sidorg holds the lead. Jono gets right behind him there in the slipstream. He could be causing him some issues here on lap 1. He pulls out. Now he's going down the inside here. Is he going to take the place? Nice clean start, says Voodoo. Everyone's managed to get away cleanly there, but it is Jono into the lead. And wow, this is a turn up for the books because Jono leads. He got a great exit from Eau Rouge down Kemmel Straight, and he's got the job done here on the opening lap, Wilco.
Yes, I'm just watching the mid to the back of the pack. Oh, it's been one car be spun around. That looked like it might have been a Jimbo taking out some. Not sure who that was. It was Mickey. It was only 2 cars. Hopefully Jimbo doesn't look there and drove into him like he was not there, Trev.
Yes, like he was evaporating there, but Jimbo getting amongst the action like he so often does. And I told you, everyone that redeems that commentary cam before they go out and start racing gets some bad voodoo juju. But called it, says Matty Simmons. Pay me, please. And we'll get to that in just a few moments because I have very little to pay you with except my love of racing and commentary indeed. 48 and a half minutes left. Why am I saying that? That's completely irrelevant because we're on lap 1 of this race and Jono still holds the lead for the time being as we come through to complete the opening lap of this one. I thought I saw a little bit of dust getting kicked up there in the background, but they've all managed, most of them have managed to get away cleanly. And Voodoo says, I can't pay you with a sub, but I can pay you with 10 minutes in the naughty corner. Boy, that man's frisky tonight. Jason Wilkinson, but let me tell you, end of lap 1, Norm had the quickest lap for a very short time. Then it was Sexy Rexy, then Auschwitzed. But of course, opening lap of this race, it is Jono ahead of Sidorg, the championship leader. Then it's Norman Price there in third. Gavea right behind him there, if you don't mind. Nick, who's going to be looking to have a good night tonight. And here at Spa, up through Eau Rouge, beautiful camera angles here from our Belgian director. And you can see there down Kemmel Straight here on lap 2. I think everybody, we've got Sideways in the pits and it looks like he's got a little bit of damage, Jaso.
Yes, he does. He downhill, what's that corner? The downhill sort of spoon corner. So that's, unfortunate. But of course, we do have the safety car as an opportunity as just had a spin by himself. Hopefully he rejoins nice and safely. And it looks like he has, but yeah, so he's not out of it because, of course, if there's a safety car in the next few corners, he's already in the pit lane. And yeah, he's probably going to, he'll capitalise like we saw Vibes last night to pit on lap 1-2, but of course he didn't have damage unlike Simon's Volker.
Here is Jimbo Jones. You never know quite what to expect with this man, but that's what we love about him. He's 5th in class as they all stream through. And then it's the Exorcist just ahead of him, Butler. And Stan Butler there. And Beaky in 18th, loving the look of that car. Sparky. Him and Sparky side by side, if you don't mind. And Butler, was that a bit of a nudge? Oh, yes, it is a bit of a nudge. Because Beaky has gone off the track. And he's been the main loser out of that one. But look how close this midfield battle is at the moment. Somebody else off at the back. I think Sparky's ended up paying the price for that one, Wilco. But this midfield battle, they are close. And they are bumping here at the moment. And something has happened, has it, with Jono? He's off the track.
2 cars off.
And he's
missed that.
And he's off. He's off big time. And I just saw him. He looked like he was going to get it together. And you know what this means?
Oh, hang on. Wait, before we do it, let me double check. I was going to quickly watch the replay. And
yep.
If those 3 were, they'll have to go past pit lane anyway. So this. If I go find, I'm trying to look. Where's Jono?
So
bear with me.
Jono in the pits. And there you can see massive amount of damage on that car. It looked like he was going to get it back onto the circuit, but unfortunately he just sort of speared off into the barrier there on this occasion. I guess the one positive thing, it's early in the race, Wilco, so the field are still reasonably bunched up on that track map there, but we're 5 minutes into this race and there's a hell of a lot of damage there. Sideways has already been in. Kilroy is in, Jono as well, and look at the damage on that car. I'd hate to think what that is going to cost him in terms of time. Rain of Fire says that rear wing looks a tad off centre, if you don't mind. And Voodoo coming in with emotional damage. And Scheisenhausen, no, says Matt Simmons. No, Jono, no, that was
Yeah,
so not right.
These guys are
So what
impossible to
happened
race
was
with. Impossible.
Jono
They cannot
sort
do
of
the
helped
stunts like
by
this, you know.
Gavea.
You cannot go into the corners crashing with other cars.
But yeah, he got helped by Gavea going into Blanchimont. It's the slightest touch, but it unloaded Jono. He hit the wall quite hard, as you can see with all the damage. Then Gavea's sort of gone off, hit the wall himself. And then Jono's sort of half spun back on the track and back out. He was out of control with broken steering. And then Kilroy's come through, hasn't hit him, spun on himself. So I don't know. I mean, I guess that's all. That's 3 cars.
Sort
isn't
of.
it? I don't know.
They're more kind of. They're not really. It's not really one major incident, is it, Wilco, involving multiple cars? It's sort of they're all off having their own little
cars crashing
issues.
at once. Yeah, and then it was about 10-15 seconds later was Kilroy sort of spun, just avoiding. So I think we will leave it no safety car for now, just because because if we start doing safety cars for stuff like that, then we're going to be having a safety car every race because there's always going to be some stuff going on. But at the moment, hang on, we do have cars at the back going slow. Jimbo, Sparky, Exorcist, did they just come together? I think they might have.
Let's
I
have a
might
look.
have to double check that one too.
Jimbo.
Let me look at this one.
And can you
Okay.
repeat, Wilco? Couldn't hear your explanation with the sound. Of course, the Fernando Alonso sound. But just what happened to Jono? That's what I think Matt wants to just hear what happened to Jono once again.
Yeah, so as he was going into Blanchimont, so that double left-hander on the back straight, he was holding the inside, and my plot replays are a lot the shines, so I can't actually see that. He was on the inside, and Gavea sort of just lightly rubbed the back of Jono's car, and it sent him off to the right, and they hit the wall hard. The Gavea sort of hit the wall and run off. Oh, hang on, someone's off. 771 Beaky. Beaky's off now, so
And he's facing the wrong way.
yeah, there's a bit of carnage, but yeah, so Jono got unloaded, hit the wall hard, as you can see with all the damage. He's now a lap down, and Kilroy spun in sympathy, avoiding those two. And Kilroy's around again.
We've got Kilroy around here, so they're all off having their own little issues here at the moment. What would you put this down to, Wilco? A lack of grip or downforce or something early in the race? Is it possibly these track conditions or weather conditions? What are you putting it down to here at the moment, do you reckon?
It is a bit slippery in this car. Kilroy needs to get off the race line quickly. Beautifully done. Yeah, it's very slippery. Maybe with overcast, that actually does have quite an effect on the grip as well. I've known if you don't have your sort of car in a window, as soon as I get really unstable, so maybe it's that, but yeah, as I said, at the moment we're still green flag.
Green flag, says race control. And being Jason Wilkinson of Voodoo, just saying no more sadness, no more sorrow, Lord help me. As you can see there, Matty Simmons says, I see. Crap, really feeling for those boys. The boats don't want to drive at Spa anymore, says Matty Simmons. And Voodoo says, this is a typical Spa. If it ain't the mountain claiming you, it's the tough conditions here. No doubt about that. And these boys are... Oh, and Sparky has gone. That's the same spot. We've seen a couple of guys go in there so far in this race. Sparky there off the track. And his bonnet not looking too worse for wear, I should say. Rain of Fire saying this is one of those cars that promotes throttle control. And Matty Simmons saying, I agree. And look at that, he's off into the pit lane there, Sparky God. Spa is very, very tough. And I think that might be, who's that behind him there? Is that Beaky? I think Beaky coming in behind him as well. Stick to that speed limit, fellas, down to 50 kilometres if you don't mind, please. So, boy, we might just recap here. We've seen so many cars going off the circuit, Wilco, in the opening 10 minutes. We don't know where to look at the moment as we take a look at our race leader here.
Yeah, it's crazy. As Jimbo gets his drive-through, this is the worst track to get a drive-through. the smallest penalty you can get, but at this track, that smallest penalty is like a minute of you sitting on 60k an hour. So Jimbo's race is pretty much done. So that's unfortunate for him. But yeah, Simon's sort of there. Of course, Gavea is P2 in the championship. So Simon wants to extend this lead as much as he can because he's not racing, as we said, next week. And at the moment, Gavea is down in P14 with some damage. So yeah, Simon's looking quite tasty at the moment.
He certainly is. And the man who's heading off to Barcelona in a few days' time, he'll want to be finishing on a high note here. And then again, there's still a long, long way to go in this race. We're only on lap 4. Nick in second place, almost 5 seconds behind our race leader. Then it's Sixy, Orexy, Yibbita Yibbita. And Simon must have passed Jono at some point earlier in that lap.
Yeah,
says Matt Simmons.
So yeah, so I went back and was watching, and they were side by side from is it Lecom after the Camel Straight all the way up to Puong. They were sort of side by side, and they're almost too wide, too deep too, and then they sorted themselves out at Puong, and then as I said, Gavea then had a run and sort of tagged the back of Jono going through Blanchemont. So it was quite good racing. We were too busy watching some other battle, which is always the case. But I mean, you got 23 cars would get every battle on screen, but there's a few boys in the pits getting the damage fixed.
And whilst we let them do that, Sparky, Beaky, Jimbo causing issues down there, but still he is 5th in his class and doing very nicely there. Jono coming out of the final corner now, and he looks as though he's got that damage fixed, but like you said, Wilco, if you're ever going to come in to the pits, this is possibly the worst track. In fact, definitely the worst track to do it in terms of time, and that's not to mention the damage on that 96 Nissan. And Matty Simmons says, it's not Pokemon, Wilco, you can't catch them all.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. It's a lot harder to do it. Oh, Rexy. God, man, that guy just loves drifting. Every time I jump on board with him,
I saw him in the practice session, actually, and he was up Eau Rouge doing some interesting moves, sort of half sliding through Eau Rouge there at the top of the hill, but he doesn't mind to slide that thing around, does he? And if there's ever a brick that can slide, it's this man, that's for sure. Not sure where I was going there, but you can't catch them all. Definitely not Matty Simmons. And just one of the many people joining us here tonight. And Stream, hey there, we see you lurking. Thank you, Stream Elements. Do consider following the stream. We'd love to have you a part of the community. And don't forget the Nigerian Prince. Oh, and boy, that was almost a drift too far there on that occasion. Oh no! Good luck slowing that down. He's nearly knocked out the cameraman. Thank goodness that tractor's behind the barrier there as well, because he would have got rid of that as well. But he's actually managed to recover quite well there, Wilco.
Yeah, that occasion. That was good brake modulation there, and he locked it up and got going. Jimbo has done his, and he's probably about 15 seconds ahead of. Jimbo's going to hopefully not have any instance slow down, but yeah, it's still pretty close. Like the field is quite tight from Rexy now down to Saint Sim in P12. There's only about 10 seconds in it, so there's good battles all around.
And you can see right the way through the field, Sexy Rexy still just hanging on to 4th, and then it's King Size Sofa King there in 5th. Auschwitz 3rd in class, I should say. Then it's Craigie O, and in there, HC Lewis behind him. Then it's Mark Ledwich. Spawn down there leading in his class at the moment. Spawn Racing, they're doing very nicely indeed. Loves the KRL family, and we love having him along for the ride. And Kick It and Rip It there, who we haven't called his name too much. He might have avoided all of the carnage, I think, Wilco, because I can't remember seeing him flying off the road backwards at any point in the opening 15 minutes.
Or go on board with P21, P22, Jono and Sparky. Oh no, we're going to go side by side up Eau Rouge. I might give him a thank you. There you go. Little touch. Now they're side by side again. And now they're dead.
That's the end of that. And wow, you just, it's...
I mean,
Far from me to
it looked
make
a
a
bit
comment.
funny by Sparky
I was about to say
moving
it's.
like that. Like, I don't know.
I hate passing judgment, given the fact that I couldn't really drive one of these things. I respect the fact what they can do. It certainly is a paddling, and those curbs are murdering people, Chuck. But is it really necessary, do you think, Wilco? I mean, Jono in a different sort of league in terms of speed to Sparky. I mean, is it really worth
I mean,
fighting it, or really?
well, this is technically for position. But I mean, we'll have to watch that back if that's going to be submitted as a Shields report. But it looked like, from where I was seeing, I was on board with Jono. It looked like Sparky moving a bit funnily. He sort of was like weaving and caught the back of Jono. But now Jono's through, and we should be looking at other battles with the P21 and P22. Now Jono's through, you should see. Pull away now, because obviously we know he has got some pace.
And Rain of Fire there, of course, confirming. Paddling the school canoe. You better believe that's a paddling, says Rain of Fire. But it looked a little bit odd, didn't it, there? We caught a bit of it on stream. I'm sure we can go back and have a look at some point there, Wilco. But just heading up Eau Rouge there. Probably one too many movements there. But anyway, it's, like I said, far from me to pass judgment on that. But when it's not your night, it's not your night, says Matt Simmons. And Sparky there saying, oh, Jono there, that corner once again catching people out. That's because he gave damaged, says Sparky God there in the chat. And Simon is disappearing.
Well,
He's not here.
Hey, I need to jump in there, Sparky. If that's a retaliation effect, is what you're saying there. He gave me damage. I'm sorry, that's not right. That's not what I want in my league. Just, if something happens like that, get it reviewed by the stewards. Don't, start intentionally swiping at people, because that's not right. That's my steward's hat going on there too, and league owner hat.
Oh, it's took a serious tone there in the voice, but no, we don't want to be seeing that sort of thing, and that is so not right. But Sidorg is checking out at the front, getting back to the front of the field and what's happening up there, and he is not here to F Spiders. He certainly is not. And Sparky, just his right of reply there in the comments.
Okay, so maybe you heard the end. You might have heard the end of our conversation about what might have. That's right. I just saw that message saying that's why he gave me damage. It potentially happened. But yeah, no, all good.
Well, do we need to?
We move on.
We move on. Still we rise and still we fight. And boy, the Netflix
Yes,
cameras.
Lewis. Where is Lewis, by the way? He's P8.
Oh,
He's
P8. Let's have a look at Lewis. But boy, the Netflix cameras are going to be. They're going to have a field day here, aren't they, for the KRL? Drive to. Well, they're surviving, aren't they, to drive? I suppose you could say here tonight. But HC Lewis, you'll be proud. We know it. He's right behind Crago here, and he's very close here, Wilco. And if he gets a good exit here, he could be in, well and truly in with a chance here on Crago just in front of him.
Yeah, you just got to be careful with dirty air going up the hill here, because as I said, these boats punch a massive hole in the air. But of course, dirty air, it's not ideal. But of course, that now turned into a big slipstream now. So let's see. I don't know if these cars have damage. Doesn't look like they have. So let's see what Lewis can do on the brakes going up to.
Let's have a look. I shouldn't.
No, he can't. But Craig's gone deep. Oh, a little slide there. But, another slide there. Jesus, there's down another one. God, Craig must have put on the wet tyres for those two corners there, because he was struggling to keep it going.
Look at this. The battle continues. Blanchimont inside curb. You should never, ever be touched. That's for sure. There's something about that corner. Matty Simmons had a few big moments there on F1 games and other games in the past as well. It seems to be the same on every game, every sim you race on. But HC Lewis dropping a little bit further back here at the moment on Crago. This is the closest battle, or one of. Oh, it's getting very close. Need to sit MC Hammer on the curb at Blanchimont. No square, says Voodoo. Chuck Norris up and about in the comments. And had it in real life, not good. And boy, that man has what a wealth of experience that Matt Simmons is bringing here. We'll get back to that in a moment. HC Lewis is through. He got a better drive out of that corner, and he is through. Solid battle here indeed. Matthew Simmons, never a truer word spoken. He is through. Lewis is through. And boy, that gifted sub must have given him a lot of luck here tonight, Wilco. He's up into 8th place here at the moment and 5th in his class tonight.
Yes, he's doing well, and he hasn't raced a lot. Did win the GT3 series, Donington, remember, and I think he's been doing. Matt might be able to fill it in here, but there's some. So you got Nemo. Lewis does it. I think Simon's done a couple rounds. So I'm not sure when that is, but so I think they've been focused on that. It's a bit more of a serious sort of. The KRL is not serious, but I think that's a bit of a New Zealand country thing. We know how patriotic. Oh, don't touch my sheep.
And you cut out there a little bit, Wilco, but all I heard was touch and sheep. So, and New Zealand, proud New Zealanders. So we'll put all those bits and pieces together. Don't touch my sheep, eh? And get away from those sheep. Oh, they're my sheep. Oh, yeah, I got mine from Invercargill. And Voodoo says, all I heard was touch my sheep. Touch my sheep, honey. And there's
touch my sheep. It's just a New Zealand banger.
And there we go, Matt Simmons. What cars did you drive around there? Audi and BMW M6. And, we've got Matt Simmons, who has driven around this circuit. We've got Wilco, who's driven around Monza. And, boy, we have all the big guns with us tonight. Through the corner with no name, kick it and rip it. And Trev that drives down the main street.
The streets of Benalla.
Oh, beauties, horse and cart.
Giddy up.
Giddy up. Oh, there's Ned Kelly. And it never gets old, does it? And oh, nice. Thank you for that, says Rain of Fire. But kick it and rip it. This is a spicy little battle heating up here. 27 minutes to go. And boy, have we seen some action here. And imagine Keanu Reeves narrating this one. Oh, and we've got someone off. And is that Kilroy? Sparky, I beg your pardon, I think.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see that. Sparky returned to garage as I'm speaking while I'm yawning, Trev, because
don't let us keep you up.
Me with his 11-second lead.
Don't let us keep you up, Wilco. If you need to go off and have a nap, you can lay down here in the commentary box. Lap 10 of this race. Ciao. And incredibile. And they were fun, both in Australia only. GTR was the only one around Spa. And first-hand account there from Matty Simmons. That's wicked. I'm sure it would have been awesome, says Rain of Fire. I'm not sure why he's talking like Martin. I think actually that car is in the pits, which is causing that yellow flag, Wilco. And given its position on the track, it sort of looks like someone's gone off at Eau Rouge or something.
If you're still watching... Yeah, Sparky, if you're still watching, can you just pause and then hit return to garage just to get rid of that yellow? Thank you. And we've got a nice battle here between Dusk. Who is it? Dusk and... No, they're all lapped down. So maybe it's a battle between... Yeah, it's a battle between Nismo, Kilroy and Slyway. They're having a nice little battle. Oh, Jimbo's off at the top of the hill.
And
Jimbo might be... Oh, his car is rooted.
And rooted is the Australian technical term for he's not going to be going on any further in this race. And, waving the white flag all right there, the marshal, because is he going to surrender here, Jimbo?
He's going to send it into the wall in frustration.
Send it into the wall. Good thing he's got his Hans device on. They're going to be a Simon and Norm 1-2.
Car 37 is off.
Last night, car 37. It's Nismo. Nismo Nath. Is that one of the Hooncorp boys there off?
Yep, he's the owner of Hooncorp.
He's the owner of Hooncorp. Sent me a friend request on Facebook, and boy, did I accept. No doubt about that. Nothing better than waking up first thing in the morning and seeing Matt Simmons giving you the care and love react on your content. Just the highlight really sets you up for the day. But it's not about Matt Simmons at the moment as much as I want it to be. It's about this man, Simon Bishop, and who's leading home a Norm
Osh Wizard
1-2.
and Sofa King.
Oh, look at this! Thank you for drawing my attention to this battle because we've got a large Sofa King bed and Auschwizard, and the German is in the pits, Wilco. He's coming in the pits, and a very tight pit lane here. And he's in the pits. In fact, we've seen a few guys come into the pits. Wilco, is this the opportunistic time to come into the pits?
Yep.
Would you have left it a little bit longer, or halfway is good enough here?
Well, with the chance of a safety car, you'd probably try to do an earlier pit stop, because if you do miss this safety car, like you're, going, especially this track with the start-finish line being different to where the pit exit comes out, you would have to go slow. Oh, Beaky and Nismo around.
So we've got Beaky, and Beaky, Jono goes through there. Beaky and Nismo, and yep, is he done, is he? He's back in the pit lane. He's teleported back to the pits, Nismo.
Yep.
I think he's done. As we keep an eye on Beaky here. Green flags, 23 minutes to go in this race. And Rain of Fire saying he got to sit in a 1993 Williams when he was a kid. And that's as close to racing as he ever got. Unless driving a pretend V8 supercar around Ipswich Raceway counts. Well, it all counts if you're racing around there in real life. Closest I've got to Formula One was picking up the marbles after the Australian Grand Prix around the track there, and that's probably where I stand in the scheme of things. That and that bus trip around the Adelaide track back in '92, but I was very, very young at the time. Now, Beaky is in the pits, and very cool indeed, Matty Simmons there, but Sideways Polka, whereabouts is he at the moment? He's got a little bit of damage there, Wilco, but he's chugging away. He's not too far behind Kilroy here. 17th and 18th on track, doing battle with each other.
Yeah, this battle's right throughout the field. He probably could have done a pit stop, but I think he sent a message past Gavea, who of course they're fighting with championship, and Gavea has done his pit stop, had some damage, and someone put a lap on him just to say, I might be going away for a week, but I'm still championship lead, potentially.
Potentially, there is our race leader going up, Eau Rouge, for the 13th time. Nothing is going to get in his way. Nothing's going to slow him down. Oh no, he's going to keep on moving. He's coming up to some traffic though, in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, as the Chuck Norris Prince says the closest I've got to an F1 race is looking at the ticket prices. I know the feeling. We're doing a bit of that, this year.
Yeah.
And gone are the days where you could just turn up to the track on the day and watch practice and qualifying, but those days are long gone. And the ticket prices are just skyrocketing there, aren't they? Especially for the Australian Grand Prix. And Sidorg, they're getting through the traffic as we continue on in this lap. Crago now up to second. Sofa in the pits, along with HC Lewis, and Spawn also continuing on here for the time being. So plenty to play out here in this race, and it might be a bit dull at the front, Wilco, but there is still little battles everywhere. We've got Sideways right behind Kilroy, and Kick It and Rip It behind the German rifle in Gavea. No, he's not, is he? It said 1 second there.
He is. He's a couple of seconds behind. Simon's splitting both of them here.
And Simon is...
But yeah, Sofa King and H. Lewis are in the pit. So the first cars are going to be Norm, then Nick. So they've had a good... Norm's now in front of them. We'll see where Sofa King comes out. He's probably going to come out near Osh Wizard, as Sofa King's leaving the pit lane now, with Beaky as well. That could be quite tight. No, they're all good. So here's comes Sofa King out. So he's effectively going to be Rexy by the time he gets out on the track.
Oh, here comes Sofa King back out onto the circuit. And Auschwizard goes through. Beaky's there as well. Sofa and Sexy Rexy Yibbida Yibbida. He goes through as well. What about Nick? Nick is up there in P3 in class, of course. And he's not too far behind his old mate, Naughty Norman Price there. And Rain of Fire says...
Simon's in.
Simon is in. Race leader into the pits. And he's got a healthy lead, Wilco, as he comes in. And we'll get back to this one. Nick and Norm doing battle there. And Rain of Fire saying a former friend with benefits watched the Melbourne Grand Prix in the boxes with Dick Johnson, if you don't mind, and others.
Oh.
Just naming some heavy hitters there in the motor racing scene. Dick Johnson, I think we might have seen Dick wandering around there a few years ago, and I think we saw him a few years ago, but anyway, he was getting on in years.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
We did, didn't we, I think?
I didn't know what you were talking about there. I don't know if that was...
I'm talking about Dick Johnson!
But yes, we did see the great... Yeah, in 2020... Was it 2020 or was it 2019?
Oh, I think we might have seen him wandering around Albert Park somewhere, and then we might have... Did we see him at Sandown as well? Was he there? I don't know. Anyway, but...
yes, yeah, I think so.
Yep, we've seen Dick
anyway
everywhere, but he's... and Voodoo. There's Dick all over the place.
There
if you
it
want to
is.
meet it, says Voodoo. I'm sure he would. But Voodoo says, I met Dick Johnson once. And thank you for that. We'll get it back together. Craigie O leading this race, yet to make a stop.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at Simon. He is, miles ahead now. He's gone.
And look at him, there he is. He's doing a Max Verstappen, and there he is.
Nick and Norm having a good battle here. So this is a battle for P2. We've got to keep an eye on that. Oh, Nick nearly binned it.
A bit of a moment there for Nick.
And now Rexy as well. Oh, Rexy.
Oh,
Rexy
sexy.
and Sofa King.
Sexy Rexy. And taking an interesting line through that particular corner. And Matty Simmons saying, the moment when someone joins the stream and hears that I'm seeing Dick everywhere, there's going to be well and truly like, what on earth is going there? And Voodoo, was he a happy fellow? Was he a happy Dick Johnson? But Nismo having an absolute nightmare these last few rounds. And, well, that's interesting, Nismo, because you always have the Jason Wilkinson Young Driver Academy option for you. And you've got 2 lessons coming in at $19.95. And sounds quite good value, doesn't it? But anyone is open. It's open to everyone.
With a $19. That's my race number. I could have been, But anyway, I'm just my business brain's ticking over, Trev.
Yeah, subtle plug there for Wilco's Driving Academy and Wilco's Young Driver Academy wider. And as it's known here, so jump on board and you can send him a message. He'll respond within 2 business days. Oh,
Rexy!
Rexy is going this way and that way. Where's he ended up? He's ended up in the gravel. And
my legs went this way, my arms went that way. Oh,
and it's
that was a dangerous rejoin. But you got it going.
You come through there. You come through there flat out, don't you, Wilco? And to see a car on the inside there is not something you want to see going through there at a couple of 100 clicks.
No, it's quite. It's a corner where there's no real bailout, because if they're coming from the gravel trap back onto the racing line, you can only turn left, and left is wall. So that was a bit dangerous, but they got through all good.
As we take a look at Nick once again, a second or so behind Norm, as we're waiting for Craigo, who's now in the pits. And my goodness me, Psydog has really... he's already in the departure lounge at the airport. And I offered to get him some KRL merchandise before he headed to Spain. But he politely declined my request. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, I think he changed the subject and said, I can get you a GT World Challenge top.
He did change the subject too.
Didn't want.
He didn't want any of that, did he? As still waiting for the interview to get in, Matty Simmons says, and Jesus, that paddle pop has sand all over it now. And Matty Simmons also saying the crashes are spectacular. And Rain of Fire says he fears he's too old for the academy. You're never too old. And I'll tell you what, if Colonel Sanders didn't start frying chicken till he was 67, you're definitely not old enough. You definitely are old enough. You're not too old, I should say, for the Wilco Academy.
Never too old to learn a few things, mate. Unless you're dead.
No, that's not really an option, is it?
That's not the saying?
Well, if you're dead, you're not going to be watching this wonderful stream and this wonderful battle between Saint Sim and Dask. And, wow, we're going to have to get Keanu Reeves in to narrate this episode of our Netflix series. Wow, you're telling me these drivers keep driving like this each and every week? Yes, we are, Keanu. That is fantastic stuff, Saint Sim. And it barely seems believable. And through the corner with no name. And Dask and Saint Sim, 13th and 14th. Life quote for you. Thank you, Wilco, quoting a great quote there for Matt Simmons to take ahead in his life. And you can see there, he is living his best life along with Saint Sim and Dask here. We've got 13 minutes, 13 and a half minutes to go, and it's very much still the Kiwi show here, Wilco.
Yes, and that's not well. Blah, 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 blah. That's what we like to see. Crazy fog.
Ding 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 bong. Saint Sim. There's the sound
I
effect.
can't believe that some of the ads we back in the day. Gee whiz.
And
I
right.
did the other one before. My arm went. Hey, my leg went.
Yes. Was that the insurance ad?
Are you with HBO?
Yeah, HBO, there we go. As Nick and Norm, this is getting very serious. As Gavea back inside the top 10. The German rifle will be counting his lucky stars there. He's in P10 at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And Rain of Fire giving some polite feedback. He's saying that it sounds more like Nicolas Cage than Keanu Reeves. Okay. You're so delicious. Okay. Bye. And there we go. Thank you for that, Rain of Fire. But we've got 12 minutes remaining in this race as we drive through the corner with no name. And this battle continues. And you can see Nick and Norm here at the moment. Not seeing this battle close up anytime soon. But the gap is closing up here at the moment between these two. And you can see when is the time to strike. This is for a podium position. Well, they're both going to be on the podium, aren't they, Wilco? In their respective classes, but still.
Well, yeah.
Nismo, they're coming up to Nismo, who's had a terrible. Oh, Nick! Just drifting out of that corner, and that is going to, wow, with 11 minutes to go, that's going to give him plenty of work to do. And Snake from The Simpsons, it's changing all the time, Rain of Fire. She needs premium, dude. Premium, dude. And there we go. And I could go all night, but Psydorg, 15 seconds. He's got a 15-second cushion here, Wilco. And you'd be a brave man to bet against him in the next 11 minutes.
Well, if you really wanted some, some fraudulent betting scandal, like you call safety car up now and bunch everyone back up, and then that, But of course, we're within the last 15 minutes of the. Did I cut out again?
Unfortunately, you did, but now you have you have
Damn.
returned. I shall return, said General MacArthur when the Japanese were invading the Philippines. And guess what? He got onto a boat and left, and he come back after the war had finished. But anyway, H.C. Lewis right behind. We'll see you later, fellows. And Wilco being Michael Massey Jr., says Matt Simmons. And it's called a motor race. We went car racing.
Toto?
I've just sent you an email with the diagrams. Did you receive that? Oh no.
I don't check my emails during the race. But you can come talk to me in the steward's box.
Well, that's okay, Michael. I'm coming up. And yes, how good was that? I think that was after the Lewis and Max thing, wasn't it?
The Silverstone race.
Yep. What a good year that was. And boy, still getting over Abu Dhabi, and didn't sleep at all that night. And
So is the Lewis Hamilton fans. So Still
we rise, guys.
Yes.
Still we rise. Ooh, look
Yeah.
at this. Lewis right up
Still be
Markle's
raised.
gingered.
Yes, Mega Markle and Lewis. Gee whiz, Mark had a good drift through there. So I think we've got to rate the drifts tonight. I think Mark's gone up to P2. I still think Rexy's drift through Puong was pretty good before, but yeah, rate your drifts.
Get in and... we had a good beat going there. We had a good thing going, but you managed to cut out again there, and that was the end of that. But Lewis and Megan Markle both doing battle here. Who is going to be the winner of this battle? Ooh, you're not going to get through there. Bit of a cheeky look, and that is Gavea and Sexy Rexy, two of my personal favourites here. And there's one paddle pop with an extreme amount of sand on it, and there's also Gavea, a German rifle who should still be able to reload here, even when he's got sand in that chamber, and have a crack here at Sexy Rexy.
Yes, he's been absolutely sandblasted down the side there. He's dropped it on the beach, a nice hot summer's day, has he? But yeah, Gavea might be having a look for a settle. Rex brakes, get the nice exit. No, he's sort of followed him. And they're going to get the same traction out of the last corner. They can get a better run onto the straights, and then he might have a chance of...
End of message.
I'm just going to stop talking if I'm going to keep cutting. I'm just going to stop talking if I'm going to keep cutting up. Trev, you've got 8 minutes still by yourself.
8 minutes, there we go. They're dropping like flies here at the moment, but Gavea and Sexy Rexy up the top of Eau Rouge. Boy, you don't want to get it wrong there. Ask Cloquet from last night in the GT3s. But down the Kemmel Straight, slipstream, and there's Sexy Rexy, that huge brick-shaped paddle pop.
Ooh,
is cutting
go
a hole.
To Dask.
And what's happening?
Dask and Kick It and Rip It. And Saints Team, they're having a good battle. They almost went side by side. Yeah, Saints Team just lifted off there sensibly.
And Matty Simmons says, don't worry, it's fun. We get to guess the end of your sentences, Wilco. We get to guess it. Fill in.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Not on my phone or...
Are you with
maybe...
Optus?
Nah, that's probably the problem.
So,
then I just wouldn't have any internet.
and you wouldn't be here to be experiencing these issues. But Dask in that car, the number 15 Nissan. In fact, they're all Nissans because it's a one-make series. The Matt Simmons Cup, and named after Matt Simmons and the great Binger King. And who could forget that big yellow brick going over the top of Mount Panorama? So many memories, and that's why we're racing these cars here in this championship. They're a little bit tricky.
Even though Binger doesn't want to race, he again, the King's Racing is just now exclusively in because the sprint stuff, no, we don't want that.
No, he doesn't.
Did I cut out again?
What gets me is you keep asking me, and it keeps happening.
Well, I finished talking, and then it's just quiet for a second. I don't know. Down. I don't know if you've just gone mute or you're blowing in. I was gonna start doing.
Yeah, you're sick all the time.
I'm gonna start talking.
All right, and we'll keep looking at this battle. Oh, remember when I was sick every second week? Oh yeah. And don't they have a doctor?
I got fastest lap too.
Oh,
What? That's not what I was talking about.
Look at you go.
and yeah, I love it. Did I cut out again? And Dask and Kick It and Rip It. We're into the last 5.5 minutes of this race, round 5 of this championship from Spa. And from here in Spa, we get onto a plane and head to Kyalami, and a track that Lewis Hamilton wants on the F1 World Championship calendar. We're not a real World Championship, guys, until we race in South Africa. We race in Vegas, we race in Miami,
No.
but until we race in Africa...
Wasn't his actual comment saying we're the only continent we're missing is Africa? Isn't that what he said? Wasn't that his...
Yeah.
I think Lewis has forgot about Antarctica. That is a continent. Didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe...
It technically
maybe all the
is.
clothes and stuff he's making, Antarctica is going to be no more.
And was that a track on
Global
Mario
warming.
Kart? That ice? No, it was
I think so.
Snow
Yeah.
Road or something. Anyway.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Yes. We could those.
Penguin Cove, I think.
Yep, and nothing worse than copping one of those bastard blue shells right at the end of the race. I tell you what, those things were like heat-seeking, weren't they? They could.
Maybe we need to give all these drivers a blue shell to slow down Simon, because he's too far ahead. Maybe the blue shells would be able to catch him.
And a bit of Bowser action there, if you don't mind. And Rain of Fire, two great minds think alike. Matty Simmons says, that's a new sound grab, please. Did I cut out again? That's the sound he wants us to snip and download for next time. Did I cut out again? Kick it and rip it. What else is happening, please? Let's have a recap and take a big, huge breath and see the order here in front of us, because there goes Simon on his merry way. Oh, look at me. I'm just going on a Thursday evening drive here. It's a little bit later here in New Zealand, isn't it? And I'm going to head off to Barcelona very, very shortly, and I'm going to have another one under my belt. And how good is that? He doesn't really sort of talk that like that, does he? But I just do it for dramatic effect.
That's close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough. They all sound a bit like that. Not like my Bob Hoskins impersonation, which gets a bit rough and ready. But honestly, Simon has
Bob
been...
and Sean Fuller are the same person.
Yeah, they certainly are. So is Keanu Reeves and Nicolas Cage. Bye, and Snake from The Simpsons. You're so cool, man. And honestly, Simon, I was about to say, Simon has been flawless all season. He has not put a foot wrong, and once he's going to do it again in this Max Verstappen Simon Bishop season he's having. Super Simon, they're going to be calling him here tonight.
Super bold man, bold man, super bold
Super
man,
bold man, super bold man. And you didn't cut it.
I cut out.
I was about to say you didn't. It's the first bloody time you didn't. But Simon, and who needs hair in this? And just think of the Netflix series and the movie deals that are coming his way. Maybe Jason Statham could play him in some sort of live action thriller. And hasn't been too exciting at the front there. But Norm in second.
Well, I don't think Bruce Willis can play anything anymore. I think he's a bit fucked, isn't he?
No, he's...
Why are you laughing? I was being serious.
He's not in a good way, Bruce Willis. And that's for sure. And we can see there Norm is 23 seconds behind Simon. And there is Nick. Who's been your... Leaders on the final lap. Thank you, Chris Gale from Race Control. Who's been your driver of the day, Jason Wilkinson, so far here in this one?
Well, it's going to be Simon, because he's put 20 odd seconds on the field in a car that is the same for everyone, so it's effectively a spec sim. And yeah, he's been a second and 20 laps, and he's 24 seconds ahead. Yeah, he's going to be driver of the day. Of course, he's going to look... What's going on? There's a loud car going outside here at the moment. But yeah, it's Simon all day, all night.
There we go. And look at that, Lewis and Crago continuing to battle. They're going to have to get this resolved very, very shortly. Meanwhile, Rain of Fire says he shaved his head a couple of weeks ago, and he's still no faster, so it's not a guarantee to make you go quicker. And that's how he likes it, says Matty Simmons. But boy, oh boy, through Eau Rouge for the final time, these two. And here we go, lining up for an opportunity down Kemmel Straight. Don't forget about Mark and who else is that? Gavea as well. Don't forget about that one. Let's have a look around the outside. Not a traditional place to pass. And HC Lewis having a little bit of a moment there, and that's going to put him on the back foot for the remainder of this lap, Wilco. In fact, I think that's going to give Craig a little bit of breathing space here towards the end of this one. Gavea has got through. He's got through there, so he's got that move done on the last lap.
Yeah, that is quite crucial for the championship. The point matters when it's 50 grabs and Simon's not racing it. But speaking of Simon, oh my God, he nearly died going into Blanchard as he was passing someone, but he's going into the bus stop chicane, Trev.
Here he is
away.
For the final time, a man who's had a flawless season. He almost died, but he's in front by that much of a margin. He could die be resurrected and be seated at the right hand of the Father and come back to do it all over again, because he wins this race comfortably, convincingly, putting on another masterclass over the rest of the field here tonight. Round 5 of this championship. He has owned Spa, and he is the king of Belgium. Super bold, super bold man. He might get offended by that, so we'll stop singing now. Not as good as my Postman Matt song, which I won't trouble you with at the moment, but Norm coming across the line to finish in second. Then it's Quick Nick, important Nick there in third. Auschwitz, bravo, bravo. The fireworks are beginning here at Spa. Auschwitz going across the line ahead of large sofa king bed. And then Crago and HC Lewis. And has HC Lewis crossed the line there? What sort of risky business is this? Now he's reversing.
He has.
Oh, he's doing something there on the line. Oh, Gavea there spinning his German rifle. I hope he's got it on safety mode. Mark Ledwich back in the pits. And no to the fro. And Rain of Fire losing about 12 kgs of fro there. And still no quicker after all of that. Spawn comes across the line. Dask. This was a good battle, Wilco here. Dask and Kick It and Rip It, along with Saint Sim as well, coming across the line. I think that's almost it. As Butler.
No, Butler's still going.
Stan Butler continuing on from on the buses. And yes, Blakey, Inspector Blakey, I'll get you, Butler. And there we have it. Just flick across to Fox Classics or have a look on YouTube on the buses, a comedy show, British comedy show from many, many years ago. But Butler coming up to the bus stop chicane for the final time here this evening. And where is he going to finish in class? He's well down in his particular class, but still, he comes out of the final corner and across the line, and that is a wrap of this race, ladies and gentlemen. But look at the final results here on your screen now. And Rain of Fire unintentionally says, drank too much homebrew vodka. That tends to cause some bad choices. Boy, does that stuff creep up on you. And yes, before you know it, you are completely legless. But side org winning from Norm, 26.994 seconds. And I'm going to stick my neck out here rather than any other part of my body, Wilco, and say that's the biggest margin of victory we've had this season for the Nissans.
Yeah, I think so. It was yeah, it was a dominant performance. To be over a second lap fast. Everyone else, only a man with no.
Yep, you cut out all right there, and I think what he was...
Oh, fucking zinger.
Oh dear, don't drink and try
I'm going
and
to my
commentate.
phone. Hang on, I'm disconnected.
We've lost him there, but what he was trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, as we wait for our drivers to come into the post-race interviews, was that something about how quick he was going and the distinct lack of hair on his head, but still it hasn't slowed him down at all because he's taken the victory here tonight. I think we're almost ready to talk to our drivers. I've got the hiccups now. Wilco, I think we've lost Wilco.
No, I'm here.
Well, would you please take us away for the post-race driver interviews, if you don't mind. Matty Simmons saying, only a man with a bald head. Take it away, Wilco.
Yes, we're having issues with Nick. I don't know if Voodoo's there, if you can maybe give him a different command or something to let Nick join. He keeps on kicking him out of the commentary booth. But you sure you want me to start off with the... I'll start off with Spawn, because I know Simon's your favourite driver. So I'll start with Spawny, mate. What's that? P11 overall, P1 in class again. Tell us about your race, mate. Had another good round. That's 2 wins in a row, I think, for the Nissan Series. You're on mute, mate. You're still on mute.
Oh, yeah, look, we had a good race and had a very good race, and now I'm in the waiting room again. I'm coming back in, boys. I'm still on mute, so let me just find the button to take myself off mute, and then we'll get going, eh?
All right, you know what? Simon's here. You can talk to Simon while the other boys.
There we go.
sort
That's
this
as
one
close
out.
as we could get to spawn. But well done, says Beaky. And thank you. Great racing, says Rain of Fire. Simon Bishop, the man, the incredible performance here tonight, putting on a masterclass and the perfect way to set a perfect send-off to you here tonight with the win there before you jump on the plane and head to Spain, mate. Talk us through it tonight.
Thanks, Trev. Yeah, that was about as good as I think I've ever done on this game. It was great. Other than qualifying being a bit of a shit show until I got with a lap in with like 2 minutes to go. It was just like great. I just love driving this car. The track's great. And once again, I should have driven this yesterday because it was better than the Audi was. And yeah, quite surprised really. Got a bit lucky. We had a great battle, which I think you missed on the stream, where Jono and I were side by side for half the lap on the second lap. And then there was some incident which I didn't see. But after that, it kind of created a big gap. And then I just kind of drove by myself for the rest of the race. But you take those ones.
Great stuff, mate. And you're heading off now. Are you back for the final race of the season, I believe?
I'm back for Bathurst, mate. So wouldn't miss it. Looking forward to it across both the series, although I might be a little bit jet lagged. So we'll see.
That's all right, mate. But it's the only thing that's going to stop you the way you're travelling in this championship, mate. Safe travels. Always a pleasure to have you part of this championship. Fantastic performance tonight, mate. Always a pleasure. And we'll catch you in a couple of weeks' time.
Thanks, mate.
There we go. Simon Bishop. The Simon Bishop. That's right. Heading over to Spain very, very shortly. And boy, what a champion he is. So we're going to head along to, we got Norm here with us. Norm on the line. And another, we're talking to some familiar faces or voices here. Once again, Norm, have you got us there?
Yeah, good evening, lads. Bit of deja vu, isn't it?
I think that was deja vu for those out there
hold on.
listening. But Norm, talk us
Is that
through
better?
the race tonight, mate. Is second the best you could have done tonight, given that performance from Simon, or were you expecting more coming into this evening?
I'm surprised with second, even. I don't feel like I had the pace tonight. Well done to Simon and Nick. They were both incredible. Yeah, it felt not as taxing as last night. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with second.
Great stuff, mate. And looking ahead to Kailami, is it a track that you know well? How do you go around there?
Yeah, I really like Kailami. Looking forward to next week.
Great stuff, mate. Well, great performance tonight. P2 in the end. A little bit of deja vu, if you don't mind, mate. We'll catch you. Have a good one. We'll catch you next week for round 6 of this championship. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Cheers, lads. Have a good night.
Great stuff. And we've got Nick in here as well. Nick, mate, P3 tonight, a podium finish. We had Nick there a moment ago. We're just waiting for him to come back into the commentary box. Nick, mate, have you got us there?
Yeah, hi Trev, it's me, Nick.
Nick, now talk us through the race tonight without cutting out, if you don't mind. We can fill in the blanks as we go along, mate. But talk us through tonight, P3 in the end. You've got to be happy with that, considering what happened ahead of you further down the road.
Yeah, it was a good battle with Norm. Yeah, we were sitting in P2 for a bit. We dropped to P3, and that's where we finished. Nick, do you have comms, mate? No, we don't. So we'll end that. Spawny, are you there, Spawn?
Hang on, might be here.
Oh, there we go. There's Nick. Nick, tell us about your race, mate.
Oh, hello, finally. Yeah, it was a good race. I wasn't expecting much tonight. I didn't really get much practice in until probably just as the server went up, about half an hour after. Quickly set up the car and got some laps in, but I do enjoy driving this car. It's quite nice. But yeah, just got off to a pretty good start. Qualifying could have been a bit better, but pretty happy with the qualifying. So to end up where I was pretty awesome. I think Norm undercut me. I didn't hear what he was saying through the interview, but or overcut me. I think I pitted because I was low on fuel, and when I came out, he continued on. He was behind me, and then when I came out the pits, he came out on the second lap after. He was a few seconds ahead as he exited the pits. So I don't know if he didn't change tyres or not, but good on him for a good overcut. And I was pushing him for a little bit. We'd sort of to and fro. He'd make a mistake or two, and I'd catch him, and then I'd make a mistake or two and get dropped back. And then we caught a back marker in Nissan mouth, I think it was, and through the double right hander onto the back straight. I must have been in some dirty air, and my back end just let go. So just got a bit messy. Just caught it a little bit before it got really messy, and then just decided to hold my position and try to hold off Hosh Wizard, which he was slowly closing in. But yeah, really happy with third place and first in Pro-Am. So pretty stoked.
No, good stuff, mate. Well done, and we'll catch you next week, either Wednesday or Thursday at Kyalami.
Certainly will.
Good stuff. Spawn, have you got us there, mate? Can you unmute your mic and we can have a chat? There we
I
go.
think I figured it out now.
Yeah, there we
Got
go,
me?
mate. P1 again. I think, as I said, is that 2 wins in a row for the M class?
No, I was fourth last week, but I have had a couple of wins. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, it was a good race. Probably me most consistent yet, but I know there's still work to be done. I can get better. Pretty happy. I'm out next week due to work. I had to chuck a sickie to be here tonight, so yeah, it'd be handy. See how we go when Bathurst comes around.
Beautiful, mate. No, we'll catch you next Wednesday then, I'm guessing. But yeah, thank you for racing again.
No worries at all. Thanks, boys, for everything you do, and I'll see you all.
Great stuff.
See you later.
Thank you.
We do have Exo in the waiting room. I'll bring him up. I've turned off my PlayStation as I'm on the phone now, so I'm not sure where he finished. But we'll bring Exo in. We're only going to do
P3, I think, in his
P1.
class. Yep.
Yeah, we only do P1 interviews for Pro-Am and just for time constraints. But Exo is one of our favourites. So, mate, tell us about your race. Where did you finish and how did you go?
Well, how you going, boys?
Good.
I'm absolutely knackered. Tell you what, that Nissan's a little bit different than the BMW. I was having a lot of trouble going through a Rouge and Radeon and pretty much the whole track. But it was a lot of fun again. Third place, I'll take it. Congratulations to all the other podiums. Butler, I'm not sure he came first. Was it Spawn who came first?
Yep.
Yep. Well, congrats to those boys. I'll keep it short and sweet, but another great race, boys. Loving the racing Wednesday, Thursday, and you boys are champions, absolute champions.
You're a legend, mate. We'll check out your stream on Sunday night if it's on. If not, we'll see you on Tuesday. Yeah. If not, see you on Wednesday and then Thursday. So it's almost a full week.
Yeah, what you know, it can get any better, could it? Yeah.
Well, we've got him. Great stuff.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for racing again.
We've got him covered. We've got you covered here, that's for sure. And Exorcist there, good evening to you. That's almost a wrap, Wilco, I think, for round 5 of both championships, the GT3 and the Nissans. But we're going to be back in South Africa next week. Not Antarctica. We're going to be in South Africa, of course, for the races next week, mate. It should be fantastic stuff.
Yes. No, it should be. It's always a good track. Of course, we did a round there in August for the Endurance Series. It's an unreal track to drive. The racing's normally pretty good as well. Simon had a nice battle with Twitchy for a good hour or so, and you can make your car nice and wide there. And yeah, it provides good racing. So next week we'll be back on Wednesday night, and of course another little announcement tomorrow night is the Endurance Series for Suzuka, the 4-hour Suzuka. Those sign-ups go live, so. Join the Oz New Zealand PS5 Endurance Series if you are keen, and if you are still in KRL and thinking I should do this Endurance Series, it sounds pretty good, get on it because it is awesome. So we'll catch you all next Wednesday.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic, of course. If you want to get involved in the Kid Buyers Racing League, jump into the Discord there. Link is in the chat. Matty Simmons is keen. He loves Kyalami, of course. And Sofa King has just got his news that he may be released from the Jason Wilkinson
No.
Young Driver Academy, and he's going to get his letter in the mail from Wider, explaining that he's going to... No, just kidding. All fun there. But thank you, Sofa. Thank you to Matty Simmons. What a supporter he's been of this channel. It is the Matty Simmons Cup, of course. And, well, according to Wilco, we've dropped the Binger King name now, so we're going to just go with Matty Simmons. But it was Simon Bishop tonight, putting on an absolute masterclass and getting the job done, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure to have your company. Don't forget, next week we're going to do it all over again from Kailami, round 6 of the GT3s from Wednesday night, 8 p.m. And then it's the Nissans back again on Thursday from 8 p.m. Be kind to one another. Thank you to the Nigerian Prince as well, who took a bit of a back seat tonight, but still he was in the chat and doing all of his good things that he does. Thank you for that, Chuck. And be kind to one another, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you next time around. But for now, it's goodbye.